there, friends and soon-to-be friends, it's quinintheclouds, and today I just wanted to quickly talk about something that I see happening everywhere with myself, with my friends. The more and more that you look for it in yourself and others, the more universal it seems, and the more we realize that we're so trained to do it and so unaware, and we don't even know how much it hurts. Like, it's extremely psychologically detrimental to us, and yet it's so normalized and expected. We train ourselves to find loopholes in positivity. We teach our brains to reject compliments for ourselves and only apply them to other people. I'm sure that we all have the friend, if we are not that friend, who will not accept a compliment. I know how hard it is to accept a compliment, but it can be so frustrating when other people don't do it because you're trying to give them this thing, you're trying to tell them something that you genuinely believe, and they're rejecting it because they don't see themselves the same way, or they feel like subpar or undeserving. And it's something we're so used to doing too, because accepting compliments has this sort of like strings attached that seem to make it like it's narcissistic, or yes, I am that thing, thank you. But no, you don't have to put qualifiers on it. You don't have to be like, oh no, I'm not really, but thanks. You can just say thank you. Or, I didn't even know that, thank you so much. Like, there's so many ways that you can realize that compliments do apply to you, and you do deserve them, and they're not just fake. I know I find myself falling into that rabbit hole a lot, where I'm just afraid to accept a compliment, because to accept a compliment is like me admitting that I think something good about myself, which I've trained myself to think is wrong. And maybe it's not wanting the other person to think it, or not wanting myself to think it, but whatever it is, it's this unwillingness to accept that it's okay to feel good about yourself. There are the people who will laugh it off as kind of like, no, but thanks. And then there are the people who will directly disregard it, say, no, that's not true, or try to argue against it. And then you'll get caught in this cycle of, really though, like if you're saying you're such a nice person, they're like, no, I'm not, I'm awful. And then you have to like give them reasons, and they're like, yeah, but that's just because of blank. Like, it becomes this argument almost, and that's way more damaging than we think it is. Psychologically speaking, when you argue against compliments or general positivity, it is training your brain to remember only the arguments and not the compliments themselves. You aren't internalizing any of the good, and instead you're just reinforcing the bad that you might already feel. You're training your brain to find loopholes in positivity and compliments and anything that would make you feel better, so that anytime that does happen again, your brain will instantly be like, here are all the reasons that could be not true. If you're one of the people who sees positivity posts or hears it and just scrolls right past, or disqualifies it from applying to you, if you think, oh, this applies to other people but not to me because I don't deserve to be happy, then it's probably directed to you. It's directed to the people who don't believe it. Don't teach your brain to always look for the negative. The more you do that, the more the negative is going to be reinforced and just repeated, and it's just going to make you feel worse anytime that you do hear something nice about yourself. You're not going to take the good from it, you're only going to see the bad, and it just makes everything worse. There's kind of this cesspool of hashtag relatable self-deprecation. It's easy to be joking, like you'll see people posting, tweeting, talking all over the place about how they're a horrible person or how they're garbage and or an idiot, and like some of it is, you know, genuine jokingness, but a lot of it is rooted in self-deprecation and insecurities, and it's so hard to find people actually accepting and loving themselves. It's a lot easier to relate to the things that are self-deprecating because that's what you're used to, and so you can fall into that pit of saying the things out loud, reinforcing them, believing them. But loving yourself, or even accepting just one compliment, or even just seeing one positive thing and thinking, you know what, okay, I'll accept that. Just anything like that, even just a little bit, can do so much for your brain. Even just once. Every single time that you do it, it'll make it a little bit easier. Don't instantly discredit anything nice that you hear about yourself, and know that you don't have to fall all the way into that, or at the other extreme, be extremely narcissistic and self-involved and thinking that you have absolutely no flaws. Everyone has flaws. Having flaws doesn't make you a bad person. Doing a bad thing doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. Growing from that, changing, trying, adapting, that's what makes you a good person. I know it's hard to believe the things that are like, you're not worthless, you're not a burden, you do deserve to be happy. You have to get to a place where you know that it's okay to not feel negatively about yourself. It's okay to say thank you. It's okay to recognize your good qualities and work on your flaws. It gets easier. You get better at it. Just like everything, it is a practice. Aristotle. Goodness is a practice. Kindness is a practice. Self-love is a practice. It gets easier the more and more you do it. It's an acquired taste. It can feel very bitter to the tongue, and to the heart. You'll just feel like rejecting it because it feels so wrong. But it goes from bitter to bittersweet to sweet. And once you've acquired that taste, the sweetness is everywhere. I want you to be happy. I want you to be able to understand that you are an amazing, capable person. You've come this far, and I am honestly, sincerely so proud of you for being here. You have talents, things that you are good at and capable of, and things that make you unique. You have intelligences that are specific to you. You have areas of expertise. You have interests and passions, even if they're lying dormant right now. Try to wake them up. Find the things that set you on fire and get burned by them. No, don't get burned. That sounds painful. Point is, there's so much good in you. So much good to you. So much good that you will get to be. The more positivity that you accept, the easier and easier it will get to believe in yourself and love yourself and absorb the goodness and all the wonderful attributes that other people see in you. And it really is, at its root, psychological. Your brain will adapt to the things that you teach it. And even if you don't really believe the compliment, accept it. Say thank you. Don't argue against it. Because the more you do that, the more you're teaching your brain to argue against it. And that's just going to teach you to find the negative in all the positive. But when you accept it, when you just say thank you, it helps your brain to get used to accepting it. And the more that you're used to accepting it, the easier it becomes to actually believing it. You don't have to believe it when you say thank you. You don't have to believe that you look beautiful that day, or that, wow, you're so smart, or you're so good at playing the cello. Whatever the compliment is, don't deny it. If someone's telling it to you, they mean it. There are plenty of people out there who will try to drag you down, and you really don't need to be one of them. But until you can be someone to pull yourself up, listen to the other people who are trying to lift you up, because they mean what they say, and they mean well, and I know that they know how much you matter. I've been in a place where I had essentially no one, multiple times actually, but that doesn't mean that you are no one. If you don't have anyone in your life at the moment that you can trust, who is kind to you, go looking. Even if it's hard to look for people, at least reach out to someone online. Jump in someone's DMs or inbox and just give them a compliment. Pay it forward. Just spread as much kindness as you can and accept it when it comes bouncing back to you. Look up general positivity online and just try saying it out loud. When you're given a compliment, write it down. Just little things to help solidify it in your mind and shut up the part of your brain that is denying it. Anyway, I know it's hard. It gets easier and better the more and more you try. And until you can believe in you, just know that there are people who already believe in you, myself included. I believe in you, I am proud of you, and I know you are so much more than you think. You are smart, you are capable, you look lovely, you are funny, you are kind, you are talented, you are all of these things and so many more. Anyways, I love you. I love you all, and I hope that this speaks to you at all or can help. Just try, just baby steps. Just try to just say thank you to a compliment next time. Just little things like that are gonna help way more than you think that they will. I promise. Baby steps. Bitter, bittersweet, sweet. Alrighty, I think that's about it. As always, have a beautiful day full of magic and joy, because you do deserve it. Bye.
I'm flying high, but I've got a feeling I'm falling for nobody else but you. You caught my eye, and I've got a feeling I'm falling. Show me the ring and I'll jump right through.